This is the beginning. Here you will be a part of something bigger than you. Make a difference. Share dreams, hopes, and aspirations. Create tomorrow's inventions and solutions. Care about others. Care about where you are going. Collaborate and develop together. Start your career. Explore the world. We encourage your curiosity, questioning your knowledge and experience, learning how everything is connected. This is where it happens. This is JU.
So, a warm welcome here at Open House. Today we are at JIBS, Jönköping International Business School, and start your international career. Yeah, that's what it's all about. We are here tonight to get to know the program a little bit more, get to know the teachers and get to know the students that are here already, and also get to know Jönköping as a city. So, we are so glad that you are with us tonight, or if you're watching this, maybe later on, we are still glad that you are with us. But for you that are attending live this very moment, we want you to please type in your questions below in the chat so we can answer them a little bit later on here while we're going through the programs. This is the school that are really focused on the international career, as I said before. And we will talk all the time here today. Of course, international language, English. But we will also have a little bit of Swedish in Civilekonomprogrammet. Det kommer vi tillbaks till. But now we will move on, because this will be a very, very special night. And I'm standing here right now with the Dean at JIBS, and I say a warm welcome to Jerker.
Thank you very much.
I'm very glad to have you here and with us tonight. And start. How are you? Are you good?
I'm good.
Yeah,
very good.
Are you looking forward to this digital open house?
I think there are also positive sides of that we are switching to do this online, because we reach out much to a broader audience.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, we do.
But of course, meetings is also something we value.
Yeah, this is the second best, but it's a good it's a good opportunity to, as you said, to reach more students. And again, if you have any questions while we're talking, me and Jerker here, please type them in the chat window and we come back to you on those. Because Jönköping International Business School, tell us a little bit, what makes JIBS so special?
First, I'd like to stress the high quality education and research that we work with here. We are a leading business school, not only in Sweden and Scandinavia, but worldwide in certain fields. So that I would like to stress. We prepare you for a successful career, in many cases an international career. I'd like to also point at some sort of specific characteristics with our school which makes us stand out a bit in the crowd. And that is, we are one of very few, I would say, truly international research and education environments worldwide. And with that, I don't mean only that we have English as an international working language, but I would also highlight and particularly point at the fact that we are truly, diverse. The environment, the school, the organization, the student population, the teachers, etc. Everything is characterized by true cultural diversity. So whether you're a student, you're a colleague, or you're a visitor or guest here, you're exposed to many different nationalities and cultural backgrounds, which makes this very exciting as a learning environment and actually quite unique.
So, and we can take that directly, maybe for those one that actually look at this right now. And okay, so this everything are in English here. This is an international school, and we talked a little bit about that before we're starting the countdown before we went live. What is your take on the English part of it for those that actually are tending to like Swedish gymnasium now, for example, and looking to next step?
I realize this may appear as a bit scary before you try it.
Yep.
But if you aim for a career, for an international career, or for a career in business in Sweden, being active on a kind of an international market, you have to take that step sooner or later, and you will find out that it's actually much easier than you think. You get over this threshold very quickly. It takes weeks maximum before you start to sort of or even think in English in your professional life.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be scary.
No.
See it as an opportunity to take this step now instead of a couple of years into your working life.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid.
Because in many cases we have the fact that English is the main language also here at companies in Jönköping or
absolutely
in surroundings around here.
And increasingly so.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's okay also with the Swinglish a little bit.
You can also hear from my accent.
And from me too.
Småland.
So, yes, we are indeed. So let's hit it off with a second question for you, Jerker. You are the dean here, and you're talking about the opportunities here at JIBS and so on. So what are the unique opportunities JIBS offers to its students?
I mean, we are a research-based business school, which means that all our education has a foundation in academic research. So it's research-based education, but with strong practical elements. So we strive to always combine theory and practice. So we teach you knowledge, but we give you opportunities to apply this knowledge in a real-world context continuously. So that means you will also gain skills, not only knowledge that you can read in books and articles, but also actual skills that you can use in your work life. This also means that we give you access to a business network that you will probably find useful throughout the rest of your career. So you are exposed to real companies, real practical challenges, and you always combine your theory with practice.
Yeah.
And we work very much with collaboration, with collective efforts to solve problems. Yeah. Also, of course, I have to mention that since we are an international business school and everything is in English, you become quite qualified in working in an international world. Yeah. We also have an international network, of course, with partner schools, partner universities worldwide, where you get the opportunity to study abroad. Yeah. With some of those, we even have what we call double degrees, so you can take a degree both at JIBS and with a school in, for instance, France, Germany or Spain, which can provide additional advantages when you continue your career after your studies.
Yeah. So focus on the international part of it, and also we are in one of the most global geographics part of Sweden. If you're talking about the businesses that's going on right now surrounding Jönköping or Värnamo or Gnosjö or whatever it's called, those kind of cities. So when we have this is the third open house we have live here at the YouTube channel, and we talked a lot about in the other schools. We talked a lot about modern standards and being, up to date and so on. And I know a lot of those that actually sitting here listening and watching this right now, they want to attend to a modern school. And how JIBS assures that the education here is up to date or in modern standard. What is your take on that?
We pay a lot of attention to that. We have been working for a very long time with continuous quality improvement. Yeah. We are one of very few schools worldwide which holds both EQUIS and AACSB accreditations. Yeah. And depending where you come from, you may know a lot or just a little about those accreditations, but they are basically international quality certificates that only the schools that live up to very high international standards qualify for. Which means that we are forced to maintain those accreditations. We are forced to continuously modernize and improve and make sure to be not only of the highest quality but also relevant. So always relevant. The skills you gain here should be applicable and usable in work life. That's one of the basic preconditions for maintaining such accreditations. So that means we are in the top league of worldwide, maybe the best in that sense, the best couple of hundred schools, and there are many schools worldwide. So it's quite an achievement.
Oh, there you go.
A couple of other schools in Sweden as well, but not many at all.
All right, so we are here on the digital open house. If there will be like ordinary times, maybe we had a lot of people around here on the Saturday and we take a cup of coffee and we go around a little bit. And for those one that wants to know more about how does it look here at JIBS, we will see that in the break later on, because we will have some students going around here in the school to show you how the environment actually looks and feels here at JIBS. But we're standing here right now. Tell us about the learning environment here at JIBS.
We have, in normal times, I mean now we have quite massive adjustments, of course, as everywhere. But in normal times, most of our education is campus-based.
Yes.
Because we believe in the value of personal interaction, teachers, students meeting each other, working together. So it's very much of a campus-based teaching style. As I said before, the combination of theory and practice also requires presence, co-presence, because we want to apply the knowledge on real-world challenges, etc. And also what I mentioned before as well, to really get the best advantage of this diversity that we host here. We see the value of meeting. So I have one, I think, wonderful example of a student who gave me feedback graduating a couple of years ago, and I asked him, can you give me some kind of good, positive or negative feedback? What are your main impressions? And he said, the best thing with JIBS is that you always get challenged by someone having a completely different opinion than you. So there are so many cultures and social backgrounds represented in the classroom that you cannot take anything for granted. And this forces you to reflect upon your own opinion and sometimes even change your mind. So I think that captures what I would say is the essence of the learning environment here. It is characterized by diversity, contrasting different ideas, different opinions, different backgrounds, which gains advancements, new learning, new knowledge. So I'm sure that also the teachers sometimes question their opinions when they interact with students. So that, I think, is the fantastic part of this school. So I really hope to be able to welcome you on site soon.
All right. So how can you make sure that students' careers and life will develop after graduating from JIBS? That's a pretty big question. But how can you, as a dean here at JIBS,
I mean, I can assure to provide you the best preconditions. We teach you the skills and give you a chance to apply those skills, and we give you access both to local and global networks. But then it's in your own hands what you make out of this. So we of course follow our graduates very carefully throughout their careers and see what happens with them. And we have very good statistics there. Many of our students get job offers that meets their expectations even before graduation, so they have a job waiting for them when they graduate. And a very, very high percentage, almost 100%, gets a job within quite a short period after their graduation. They become managers or specialists in both the private and public sector, both in Sweden and abroad. And actually, quite many of them also become entrepreneurs. So they start their own business. For some of them, it may even become their main, business, their main what they live from.
they're living.
But of course, it's very much our education is demanding, but also very rewarding. So you get opportunities, but you have to capture them yourself. We call it one of our sort of guiding principles is entrepreneurial in mind. So you have to be entrepreneurial in mind. You have to identify and seize opportunities. You have to be action oriented and do things.
All right, so I see that we have some questions here in the chat. It's okay to take those, and I will give them on screen for you guys, so you will see them also. Will the classes remain online this autumn? And this is a hard question, I guess, but it's a relevant question, though.
My answer will be hopefully not.
No?
As soon as we are allowed to switch back to campus, and as soon as we can do it in a safe way, of course, we aim to do that. But as it looks now, the current semester, it is mostly online, almost exclusively online now. Very small gatherings, if any. But I hope that after summer, we can gradually at least transfer back to campus with vaccination programs being rolled out in a big scale and so on. So as soon as we can, we will switch back to on-campus education again.
Good. Thanks for that, Jerker. And we move on in the chat here. It's a Swedish question. We take it in Swedish and in English. Hur många dagar är man fysiskt i skolan per vecka ungefär ifall man tänker bort corona? And the question is in English, how many, you talked about the campus-based education, how many days in a week are you actually here in the school to get classes and so on?
Oh, I think this is a question more for the program directors, because it may differ between the programs. But most of our programs are full-time studies. So you're supposed to work full-time. There are, of course, those who can run some kind of extra job on the side, but it should be a more or less full-time job.
This question usually comes back.
So maybe if you, I would hunch, I guess, 3 days a week at least. But now I'm on a bit shaky ground because I'm not entirely sure. It may differ.
Soon we will know that, because we soon will have the programs here. But Jerker, if we wrap this up a little bit, there are people sitting here right now. They are looking at Jönköping and at JIBS and shall I take that direction, or I want to go for an international career, or I want to be ready for it and so on. Is there anything else you want to bring to the table, so to say, to those that's sitting there wondering a little bit about JIBS and what to do?
I mean, I've done this switch myself. I moved here a few years ago, knowing very little about Jönköping, small city. I was in Malmö-Lund region before that. And I haven't regretted that. So I think Jönköping is a fantastic city to live in. JIBS is a great school. If you are into, I mean, if you appreciate the international environment, diversity, if you think it is an obstacle or a hassle or hard to cope with, maybe you should better search for a school with more homogeneous population. And Swedish language or whatever. But if you think those challenges will gain you something, will make you a better person, a better professional, I would say go for it. You're warmly welcome.
You heard it. Go for it. So thank you so much, Jerker. And if you have any other questions for Jerker and the other ones here, you can type them in the chat, but also you can send an email to us. Again, thank you, Jerker, and we will move on, because now it's time to switch to Swedish. Jo då, det är det, för det är nämligen dags att gå vidare med Civilekonomprogrammet här på JIBS. Och jag säger välkommen in till Johan Larsson och jag säger välkommen till Lukas. Härligt, ni får ta något steg fram så vi är framme vid mickarna. Och Johan, vi tar väl den klassiska sportfrågan i början. Hur känns det?
Ja, men jag tycker det känns roligt att få möjlighet att berätta lite grann om programmet, även om jag ju helst hade sett att vi hade fyllt campus en lördag.
Ja, men så är det ju. Men fördelen är att det är många som kan titta på det här i efterhand. Och de kan samla liksom, vänner och familj i Lukas närhet och titta på Lukas och annat liksom, och få lyssna på hans svar lite extra. Lukas, du är student här och är ju på år 1.
Stämmer bra.
Ja, härligt. Gott att ha dig med. Vi ska ställa lite studentfrågor just till dig om en liten stund. Men vi måste börja med Civilekonomprogrammet. Ett stort program här. Vad handlar Civilekonomprogrammet om?
Ja, det handlar om ganska mycket. Civilekonomutbildningen vill jag hävda är Sveriges bredaste samhällsvetenskapliga utbildning. Vi erbjuder möjlighet att fördjupa sig i såväl företagsekonomi som nationalekonomi. Och det finns goda möjligheter både till ämnesfördjupningar och utlandsstudier. Så man kan utifrån en väldigt bred palett av valmöjligheter skapa sig en unik profil.
Just det. Jag tänker så här, du har ju mött ett gäng studenter som har gått här genom de här åren. Bara för att ge lite heads up till de som sitter där hemma. Vad jobbar de med efter sin utbildning som när man har gått civilekonomiprogrammet?
Som civilekonom så kan man ju jobba såväl i Sverige som internationellt. Och vi har faktiskt alumner på alla stora svenska företag. Så nämn ett företag så hittar vi en JIBS-alumn där.
Just det.
Vi hittar JIBS-alumner också i kommuner, regioner, i statlig tjänst också. Ja. En del väljer också att fortsätta inom akademin och kanske forska och gå vidare i den karriären. Men väldigt, väldigt många yrken är öppna för civilekonomer. Inte bara bank och redovisning som man kanske ofta tänker på först.
Det. Och så civilekonom, liksom att man hör ju ordet civil och man hör ekonom och så tänker man så här, heter det samma när man ska göra en internationell karriär och kan jag göra en internationell karriär med den här utbildningen?
Det kan du absolut, och det är ju riktigt som du är inne på att civilekonom, det är ju ett svenskt påfund. Och det handlar ju egentligen om att man insåg att civilingenjör var väldigt populärt. Så man valde att stjäla det begreppet lite grann när man skulle börja utbilda ekonomer på Handelshögskolan.
Just det.
Och en civilingenjör är ju alltså, för att särskilja dem ifrån de militära ingenjörer som fanns från början. Det har ju aldrig funnits några militära ekonomer, men i Sverige så kan man då ändå bli civilekonom.
Just det. Aha, det är egentligen det som är backstoryn till det. Och just en som har liksom hoppat på det tåget, det är ju du, Lukas. Ja. Då måste vi börja med att ställa även en sån här typisk trivselfråga till dig. Hur trivs du på civilekonomiprogrammet här på JIBS?
Jättebra faktiskt. Jag måste säga att jag är väldigt bra överraskad, eller otroligt överraskad över hur bra det fungerar här. Ja. Och otroligt lärorikt och spännande utbildning.
Du är inte från Jönköping?
Nej, jag är från Lund.
Ja, så Lund, liksom det är den andra som kommer upp här och flyttat från Lund upp till Jönköping. Det är väldigt härligt. Men vi kan väl bara stanna lite vid, för jag vet att väldigt många är nyfikna på att flytta till Jönköping. För det kan ju vara en sån här grej, hur är det som stad och hur är det att vara student i Jönköping? Och du kommer från Lund, men kan du inte ge liksom din sån här känsla, hur är det att flytta till Jönköping och vara student i Jönköping?
Jag har flyttat runt rätt mycket innan jag började här. Det är en väldigt, väldigt trevlig stad. Finns mycket att göra. Och sen händer det mycket kring skolan och liknande också. Och sen har jag fått höra på att det ska vara ännu trevligare på sommaren. Ja. Jag har inte riktigt fått uppleva det än, men det är en väldigt fin stad. Rolig stad.
Gott. När vi pratar då, vi pratar utbyte och vi pratar praktisk erfarenhet och sådär. Och det har vi pratat på mycket av skolorna här på våra öppna hus. Hur ser det ut på den här utbildningen med praktisk erfarenhet under tiden?
Att jobba nära företagen är oerhört viktigt. Och Handelshögskolan i Jönköping uppfann begreppet fadderföretag i samband med att skolan skapades 1994.
Okej.
Och börjar man civilekonomutbildningen, ja då får man ett fadderföretag som man följer i ett antal kurser under år 1 och år 2.
Just det.
För att se hur jobbar företagen i praktiken med det som vi undervisar om i teorin. Och då får man en bra växelverkan Företagen tycker om att få ut våra duktiga ungdomar som ställer en del kritiska frågor till dem. Och våra ungdomar får samtidigt se då hur funkar det här i praktiken. Och det är klart att det underlättar.
Just det. Och vi använder ju begreppen ofta. Det är mycket begrepp i akademin. Och vi har hört på andra ställen, och ni kanske har läst här, VFU till exempel. Som står då för?
Ja, VFU är ju ett begrepp som är verksamhetsförlagd utbildning. Och på Handelshögskolan så jobbar vi inte med VFU-begreppet, utan vi jobbar med fadderföretag och internship.
Just det.
Och ett internship är då alltså en kvalificerad praktik som ger akademiska poäng.
Just det.
Där man gör ett praktiskt arbete ute på något av de här företagen eller organisationerna man sen skulle kunna jobba.
Just det. Om man nu sitter och tittar på det här då både om man är liksom runt Jönköping eller man bor långt bort från Jönköping och tänker att jag vill hit, det finns massa lite spännande bolag och sådär. Skulle det vara möjligt att handplocka sitt eget sånt här bolag?
Absolut. Vi har en databas där vi lägger upp praktikplatser och så som där företag kontaktar oss på skolan. Men man kan naturligtvis också använda sig av sitt eget nätverk och själv komma med förslag. Så tänker du att du är uppvuxen i Sverige, ja, då kanske du har lite kontakter och har möjlighet att ordna en egen praktikplats. Men om du inte har de möjligheterna, ja, då har vi vår databas och hjälper studenterna att hitta möjliga företag och organisationer att göra praktik på.
Just det. Jag ser att det haglar in en fråga i chatten, vilket jag tycker är jätteroligt, så jag tänker att vi tar dem, va?
Ja, men absolut.
Vi börjar skjuta faktiskt en till dig, Lukas, här. Och det är, vad säger studenterna om engelskan? Är det svårt att anpassa sig i början, eller finns det hjälp här på skolan att få om man skulle behöva? Vad är din take på det här med att det är på engelska och att vi går in liksom fullmatat i det?
Alltså det är såklart, det finns en anpassningsperiod i början. Alla kanske inte är vana vid att studera på engelska eller prata jättemycket engelska i vardagen kanske, om man är från Sverige. Men många lärare är ju också svenska, eller vissa av dem. Så skulle det vara någonting som är svårt så kan du ju ofta antingen mejla dem eller ta kontakt med dem i pauserna på lektionerna. Och så brukar få mycket hjälp där. Sen pluggar vi ihop, alltså studenter sinsemellan. Ofta, nu såklart lite mindre, men generellt sett så är det många elever på skolan också, så man hjälps åt liksom.
Ja, så det finns liksom en livlina att ta.
Absolut.
I det här fallet. Ja, men gott tack för den. Och då kommer en fråga till dig här, Johan, från er där ute, och det är Civilekonomprogrammet. Kan man praktisera 2 terminer utomlands eller Sverige, eller måste man studera 1 termin utomlands och 1 termin praktik?
När man läser till civilekonom så under 3:e året så har man ganska stora valmöjligheter. Man kan till och med läsa ett helt år utomlands. Och det är inte så många utbildningar i Sverige som ger de möjligheterna. Man har dock inte möjlighet att göra praktik en hel termin. Utan i dagsläget så kan man göra praktik 10 veckor.
Just det.
Så man skulle kunna tänka sig ett upplägg där en student under 3:e året läser ett halvår utomlands, läser en halv termin på Handelshögskolan och gör en halv termin praktik på ett företag. Det är inte helt ovanligt.
Nej.
Och det företaget kan ju vara i Jönköping eller någon annanstans i Sverige, eller varför inte utomlands.
Just det. Vi håller kvar vid de frågorna, intressanta, och då handlar det om skillnader. Nämligen, vad är skillnaden på civilekonomiprogrammet jämfört med nationalekonomiprogrammet?
Vi har ju ett program hos oss, ett 3-årigt program med nationalekonomi som huvudämne.
Så kommer snart. Ja.
Och då får du en kandidatexamen i nationalekonomi. När du läser till civilekonom så läser man både nationalekonomi och företagsekonomi.
Just det.
Men man väljer då om man ska fokusera på antingen nationalekonomi eller företagsekonomi. Och om man då läser nationalekonomiinriktningen, och då får man allt det som man får i den 3-åriga nationalekonomiutbildningen. Men man får också en master och civilekonomexamen.
Just det.
Så då är skillnaden egentligen att det är 1 år längre studier.
Just det.
Och en annan examen.
Bra fråga.
Absolut, och man samläser mycket med den utbildningen.
Just det. Har ni fler frågor så är det supervälkommet att skicka in dem till Johan, Lukas och gänget här. Ni kan också mejla på studera@ju.se så svarar vi på dem tids nog också. För det här öppna husen är ju för er skull. Och jag tänker att vi fortsätter där, för Lukas, när du ombordade, du tog ditt pick och pack och flyttade upp till Jönköping. Du är i år 1 av ett gäng år framåt. Men sen blir det dags för det där allvaret, om jag får uttrycka det så. Man ska ut och jobba. Vad har du för plan? Vad är din tanke liksom efter studierna? Jag vet att det är tidigt, men om jag liksom måste ställa frågan nu.
Jag har alltid varit intresserad av internationellt, alltså att komma utomlands, jobba utomlands. Och det var också mycket därför jag valde Jönköpings universitet. Sen var det att göra med det, jag tycker det är kul med ekonomi, men det är väldigt tidigt att svara på den frågan.
Det förstår jag, men framförallt den internationella prägen hör jag.
Ja, och sen är det ett så pass bred utbildning. Ja. Så du har ju jättemånga valmöjligheter. Och det kommer dyka upp fler allt eftersom liksom, så får man ta det som det kommer lite.
Just det. Och det är väl precis därför vi gör ett öppet hus också, för att visa på bredden av vad annars kan vara ibland att det är den här typen av yrke, men det är ju så långt mycket mer. Och det får oss också att komma till några av de sista frågorna här, Johan, på när det gäller, vi pratar internationalisering, vi pratar möjlighet att vara utomlands och allt det här. Hur ser det ut med utbytesstudier och studenter här och sådär, för att ge en kontext i det?
Det är ju... Jag har jobbat på några andra skolor i landet, och jag kommer ju tillbaka till att jag uppskattar den här internationella miljön. Jag tycker det är häftigt att ha ett nätverk som spänner över hela världen. När man sitter i ett klassrum så kanske vi har 30-40 nationaliteter. Och det är klart att tittar man på betydelsen av det här, alltså, tänk att kunna skriva det i sitt CV. Under min studietid så har jag gjort projektarbete med 30 nationaliteter. Så det är ju häftigt faktiskt.
Jag ser ju det på dig. Och tillbaks till dig, Lukas. Om du får skicka med något där, för du trots allt i det, man får dela de här, vi hörde Jerker beskriva just de olika bakgrunderna, kulturella skillnader och annat som kan vara med in som någonstans förflyttar en både som människa och också student. Håller du med det Johan säger här liksom, med att du får möta så mycket gör också att världen på ett sätt kanske krymper lite och öppnar upp för att steget ut inte är så stort?
Ja, absolut. Men det gör du ju redan när du börjar på skolan egentligen. I och med att du har chans till 1 år utomlands. Ja. Och det finns så många samarbetsskolor som man kallar det. Men sen också, det märker jag, det här med 30 nationaliteter. Det finns ju, det kryllar ju om det i klassrummet liksom. Så det är svårt att hålla koll. Men absolut.
Men en häftig grej på det. Och Johan, finns det någonting mer vi ska skicka med från Civilekonomprogrammet? Det jag hör är att det finns goda utsikter. Vi har fått mycket frågor på de andra programmen som vi har varit runt. Liksom, hur ser det ut med jobb då efter? Har man möjlighet? Liksom, är det en bra marknad för civilekonomer där ute?
Ja, den är fantastisk. Det är svårt att hitta någon yrkesgrupp i Sverige som har bättre sysselsättningsgrad än civilekonomerna. Och de jobbar ju som jag säger med många olika saker.
Ja.
Det är verkligen en framtidsbransch, och jag tror att bredden gör mycket att man blir anställningsbar.
Just det. Och anställningsbar är ju liksom hela nyckeln till framgång både för skola och student sen. Och jag ser att det kommer i chatten, vi ska snart avrunda, men jag måste ta med frågorna för det här är ju gängets frågor där ute. Och då blir det en fråga till dig Johan först, och då lyfter vi upp den från chatten nu, och då står det så här: hur är matematiken här på civilekonomiprogrammet? Måste man vara väldigt duktig, och den är ju subjektiv såklart, för att klara sig? En relevant fråga faktiskt.
En jättebra fråga, och jag vet att jag själv när jag skulle börja plugga var lite nervös för det. Jag har väl egentligen haft ganska lätt för mig i skolan, men just kanske matten hade jag inte de bästa betygen. Nej. Och då upptäckte man det när man skulle läsa nationalekonomi, där man kanske använder matematiken som mest, att våra duktiga lärare i nationalekonomi också undervisar i matematiken.
Just det.
Så man får alltså matematikundervisning på de delar som är relevanta för att man ska förstå det ämne som du läser. Så jag upplevde redan som student att man fick jättebra hjälp och stöd för de bitarna.
Just det.
Och,
så man ska inte vara för sky för det där. Man kan vara lite hård också på att bedöma sig själv ibland.
Ja, men jag tror att man är nog ofta hård mot sig själv. Jag var lite nervös. Till och med så nervös att jag tvekade på att söka en gång i tiden.
Just det.
Men har ju inte ångrat mig. Och vi är duktiga på att ge det stödet som behövs för att man ska klara detta. Om man bara är villig att lägga ner timmarna själv.
Det kan jag faktiskt hålla med om. Det tänkte jag också på när jag skulle börja. Och den matten som var svår på gymnasiet. När du får den på universitetet och det sätts i ett sammanhang så blir allting mycket klarare och faktiskt mycket enklare.
Just det, det blir liksom enklare att förstå.
Absolut.
Ja, all right. Du, en sista fråga som är till dig då, Lukas, och den handlar om fester och aktiviteter. För det är ju sådär när man ska flytta och kanske bli student någonstans, så är man ganska intresserad av hur är egentligen sammanhållningen. Och vi pratar om Jönköping som ort och sådär, och det kan ju låta fint, men man kanske också vill se tillbaks på sin studenttid som en tid där man hittade nya vänner och man fick ha härligt umgänge och så vidare. Och då var det en fråga här i chatten som handlade om fester och aktiviteter, och då kan man ju ta den lite högst subjektivt där med att det är corona nu, står det, men hur är det annars och hur kommer det bli och hur ser det ut här på ju.se? Din uppfattning om studentkår och andra sådana här begrepp, inspark och så vidare?
Det finns ju väldigt mycket av den sorten nu.
Ja.
Sen har inte jag upplevt jättemycket i och med att det har varit corona nu och sådär. Men jag har ju fått höra mycket, och vi hade ju lyckligtvis fick ha en relativt ordentlig inspark. Och sen har vi har ju en vad säger man kallar det, bar i skolan, pub i skolan. Sen har vi en studentklubb också.
Ja.
Men det känns väldigt nära också, så du festar inte bara med dina klasskamrater, utan alla skolor ligger så nära varandra så det blir ett helt annat umgänge.
Har hört mycket om det här generellt här på campus, att det är väldigt stort utbyte just emellan. Tack kanske vara att vi är så tajta också, rent lokalitetsmässigt. Johan Larsson, tack så jättemycket, programansvarig för Civilekonomprogrammet. Och det är hur många ungefär vi tar in på det?
Ungefär 120 studenter välkomnar vi varje höst.
Kul, det vill vi se er där ute, och vi vill se era ansikten här. Och som sagt, har ni mer frågor till Johan och gänget runt Civilekonomprogrammet, skicka in dem. Det är studera ju.se, så ser vi till att svara upp dem ut efter det. Och Lukas, stort lycka till i dina studier och när det bär av ut i världen sen. Har ni frågor till student och kanske Lukas specifikt och vill veta mer om det, in med frågorna så hjälper vi er. Tack för att ni var med.
Tack.
It's time to move on, because now we will go to the international economics a little bit, and we will do that online. And I know and I can see them right now, because I think that we have Tina with us. Hello, Tina.
Good evening.
Good evening, Tina. And I also think we have Patrick with us. Hi, Patrick.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to this digital open house, and you are for sure digital because you are with us on Zoom right now. And we're starting with you, Tina. Tell us a little bit about the International Economics Program. What it's all about.
It's about a lot of things, but to really nail it down, you can say it's about understanding global markets, and also being able to analyze them and how things are fitting together, and socioeconomic problems of different kinds. But to some extent, it's also about how policy decisions affect firms, individuals, and how we can use that to nudge people perhaps in certain directions, if you want to sort of extend the implications of what it means.
All right, and are there any good examples of career after the program? So we can, as we talked about the Civilekonomprogrammet here before, we talked about what can you do after you have finished this program? Tell us a little bit about that.
You can do a lot of things. The most common conception that I meet when students start, at least, is that, okay, so I'm doing economics now. Does it mean that I should start working in a bank?
Yep.
And no, it doesn't, because you can do a lot of things.
Okay.
I usually say sometimes that economics is like a way of thinking, or it's like a couple of glasses you put on, and then you can see a lot of different things in a certain light. So you can work with everything from analyzing education to environment to trade, migration, and finance.
All right.
For example.
Thanks for that, and let's move on then to Patrick. You are a student here at JIBS, and what year? Are you in the first year or second year? Or?
I'm in the final year, now I'm in the third year.
All right, so it's time to move on then. So you can tell us a lot about the program, and you have to tell us, how do you like the program, Patrick?
I really like the program, especially because I feel like it's up to date. It's very current. When you go around and see what's happening in the world, it's actually presented in the classroom. Yep. I think that's very important for economics, especially.
Yep.
Also because it's more related to GU, I feel like I have a sense of belonging. Everything that I comment on the course, it becomes improvement. I feel part of the university all the time. That's very important to me. And that's something that I really appreciate.
And we talked a lot about Tina here before with the other programs and the other schools here at the Jönköping University. We talked a lot about modern and be relevant and so on. And what kind of, and that is also, of course, relied on our, so to say, collaboration with different companies surrounding Jönköping and other areas here. And what kind of practical experience can you get during this program? So it's not only theory, it's practical.
Up to you.
Yeah.
For example, like Johan was talking about for the Civilekonomprogrammet, also students in this program have the opportunity to do an internship during the elective semester, which is in the last and third year. But what happens along the program in the different courses is that you get to analyze current events, you can say, in comparison to the theories that we are teaching you, and how can you apply that on what you're seeing. So that's actually one way to talk about practice when it comes to economics, because what you will be working with is to do a lot of analysis of various kinds. But that's not all. I mean, of course, we do collaborate with different actors. Just as an example, students taking the introductory macroeconomics course today had a guest lecture with the deputy governor of the Swedish Central Bank, to get some understanding of how they work and how do they analyze the market to come and why do they act the way they do.
All right. So, Patrick, if we move on to you, where are you from, Patrick, to start with?
I'm from Brazil.
All right, so from Brazil to Jönköping University, and we have to ask you, what made you choose this program here at Jönköping University?
Well, before moving to Sweden, I lived in 3 different countries.
Yeah.
I was in need of a very international background. I have a very international background. I was in need of a very international environment to feel comfortable.
Yep.
So that was the main decision point.
All right. So, have you been abroad, or will you go abroad, or how does it look for you?
I haven't been abroad from the university, but I'm currently working in Luxembourg in an accounting office.
All right.
So I am abroad.
Oh yeah, you for sure are abroad. And talking about that, Tina, we had some questions before about studying in English here at the JIBS, and is it a barrier of entry and so on? What's your take on that?
Well, for some it can be during the first weeks, I would say.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to economics especially, it's a subject that many students haven't really studied before. So, I mean, it becomes something that you learn with the subject to a large extent, actually.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the working language becomes the first language for the subject.
Yeah.
So I think most students have no problem at all after a few weeks at JIBS.
Oh, good to hear. And we take a question from the chat, Tina. So can you study abroad even at this program? We talked a little bit about that with Patrick, but describe that a little bit. You can study abroad on the international economics.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The 5th semester, which is the autumn and the 3rd year, is elective.
Yep.
And during that semester, you can either study abroad for the full semester, or you can take part of the semester as an internship and the other part courses at JIBS. Or you can, if you want to, spend the whole semester here at JIBS taking elective courses. So that's the 3 options you have for that semester.
Yeah. And you're sitting here watching this open house right now. It's a lot of different programs here at JIBS. And it could be, what was that again? And we have a question from in the chat. That is, what is the difference between international economics and international management? And we will talk a little bit about international management in just a couple of minutes, but please describe it for us.
The major difference is that they have different major subjects. In international economics, the major is economics, so that's what you're going to take your degree in. If you study international management, your major and your final degree will be in business administration. So it's really about which subject would you prefer to study that should guide you into which of these programs you want to take.
All right. So, Patrick, how is Jönköping? What do you think about Jönköping? Is it a good city? Is it a good place to be?
In the sense of quality of life, I think it's an amazing city. It's safe. It's easy to get around, which is very important.
Yeah.
Especially if the school help. Accommodation is not a huge issue, such in other international university surroundings.
Yeah.
I really feel like very safe around it. I like this.
So,
also, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Big lake and nature.
Yeah. So some of the people that are watching this right now may be thinking about moving far from home and so on, maybe here in Sweden, move to Jönköping, and they will move away from, you know, family and friends and so on. And you moved all the way from Brazil. And how is it to... coming to a new city like Jönköping and be a part of the student life and so on. Describe that a little bit. Is it hard? Is it easy? It's up to you, or does the school offer a lot of different type of connections?
The university provides a lot of events and activities. Also, the accommodations, especially for international students, are kind of a community that you live with different students usually from master's and bachelor's degree, so all full-time students.
Yep.
And we kind of develop, or I would say create your own little family in Jönköping while you're living there. We create very good connections and networks that you kind of feel home outside of home. It's pretty easy to get adjusted.
All right. We're glad to hear that. And Tina, we have a question here in the chat saying that, are you allowed to change the programs on JIBS if you realize that your own major is not the right one for you? Maybe you find out that a little bit later on when you start studying. Is it okay to change, or how does it work?
Well, I know there are some occasions where it's possible, but I'm not saying it's a general rule.
No.
Because it really has to do with what courses you've already taken, how far into the program you are, and some of these issues. Because if you've already taken too many courses that don't fit the program you want to swap to, then you will have some issues with getting the right degree.
Yeah.
So you have to talk to the study counselors as soon as possible to check if it's okay.
Yep.
But then it also has to do with the amount of space in the program, because we have a limited number of seats.
Yep.
So it might not be possible. It's on an individual basis.
So talking about the different programs here at JIBS, it could be a lot of information, as we said, here on this open house. And the other programs here today, they mainly has business administration as their major, but international economics has a major in economics. What is the difference between business administration and economics? That was a long question, but I think you get it.
Yes, and it's a common one. I get it all the time, and I usually spend quite a lot of time in open house talking about it. And the topic of economics is, if you really cut to the core of it, it's about scarcity of different resources and how can we make the most of the resources we have. So hence the connection to perhaps policy, because they tend to guide how we can use the nation's resources in a good way for everyone. But if you want to compare it, you can say that economics is about the bigger picture.
Yep.
And business administration is more about the details. And it really shines through when it comes to the thesis work and the types of methods that you learn in the program. Because for economists, you tend to gather a lot of data and you want to find this general trend sloping upwards or downwards or see how things are developing. But when it comes to business administration, it's much more common that you do case studies because you want to understand why did this firm act like this in this moment, for example. So detail or big picture, I would say, is perhaps the biggest difference.
All right. Thank you for that answer. And also, if you have any other questions, please type them in the chat or give an email to study@ju.se. But we have actually a question in the chat. So Tina, we take it away with that. And you talked a lot about you can do a lot of different things and so on. We have a straight-on question here in the chat saying, what will you work with when you are done studying this program? So what can
It's a straight question, but I'm not going to be able to give you a straight answer, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Because you can do so many things. It's really about these sort of glasses that I talked about. That you get a way to analyze questions systematically, and you get to be familiar with using data and quantitative methods to support your analysis. And you can do that in so many different circumstances. And maybe I could say also that when you go on to apply for jobs, you're not going to see anyone looking for economists if you're not looking in academia. So it's a bit tricky in that sense because you really have to look at the work tasks. Because it can be called anything from analysts to business developers to strategists.
All right, so it's all right. So it's so it's up to you.
A lot of it is.
Yes.
And your interests, of course.
And Patrick, if we wrap this up a little bit, and I asked the other students when we have done those open houses and saying, okay, so if you have the camera now, the spotlight is on you, and everyone is watching you right now and thinking, oh, maybe he's living my dream. I want to do that. And why shall they attend to this school at Jönköping University here at JIBS? And specific international economics, if you can give any advice.
Well, first is feel safe, because that was something that I was worrying about. The promise that the university make you for a global career and everything, they're actually true. All my friends got nice internships. The ones that are graduating got in good masters schools if they wanted to. Some other people that didn't want to go for a master's, they actually have good jobs in famous companies around. I was able to find a job even before graduating. The integration is great. The environment is really international. You're gonna hear a lot of different languages on campus, see a lot of different foods, and learn a lot about every other culture that you didn't even imagine that exists. I learned so much about even geography. And the university takes good care of you. Even though it's not their job, you can be sure that the university is gonna be there for you every time you need, even for the smallest situation. And for the big ones, like COVID, for instance, I think we had one of the best approaches in comparing to all the universities that I've been following from my friends. It was a very fast decision and high tech, involving all the technology that was available to make us feel safe, and also to keep with the program, keep with our studies.
All right.
I wouldn't think much about going to JU. I would go again.
All right, so thank you so much, Patrick, for that, and good luck with your coming up career and everything that you will do in the rest after you are done here at JU. And Tina, to wrap it up from the program part of it, how many students do we take in to this program?
It actually varies a bit from year to year, but usually around 50 to 60.
So around 50 to 60. And you are looking forward to meet them all here at campus?
Hopefully, yes.
Yes. And if you want to know more about international economics, please just type an email. Is there anything else, Tina, you want to give us from the program for the ones that are sitting here watching this right now?
Well, I could just add a few things, connected to the international environment that everyone is talking about.
Yeah.
We do have about 30 to 40% of the class coming from other countries every year. But it's also a lot about the teachers. I looked into how many of the teachers teaching in this program currently who have like a foreign background, being born in other countries, and it's about half of them.
All right.
So also from that perspective, you have a lot of diversity and variation of perspectives. But to really perhaps push for what the program is about, it's about to give you the skills and knowledge to be able to work close to decision making, I would say.
So it's really an international business school. We can hear that for sure. Thank you so much, Tina, and thank you, Patrick, for you and we waving a little bit for you guys, and we see you further on. Thank you, because we have to move on here, and we're leaving the international economics, and instead of going to the international management, and we will do that also online. After we have done the international management, we will have a little bit of a round trip here at JIBS, so you can see the environment, and you will follow some students around here. But now I can see Edward on the screen, and I say, hello Edward, good evening. And I can also see Tilma, and hello and good evening to you, Tilma. So very welcome, and start with you, Edward. You are the responsible one for international management, and again, we talked a lot about different programs here at JIBS, and it's a lot of different words and so on, and you have to cut it down. What is this program all about?
So, in a nutshell, international management, basically, firstly, is a business administration degree. Like, we basically give a foundation in business administration, which is a mixture of statistics, accounting, marketing, organization, and then we basically give specialization in international management, which is effectively organizing business across borders. So dealing with customers, dealing with R&D, dealing with all forms of business activities in international context.
All right. So if you go to Tilma now and just ask you a couple of typical student questions. Tilma, how long have you been studying here at the Jönköping University?
I am studying my 4th year here.
All right.
So I do have my bachelor's already.
All right. Okay, so you know a lot about this program. So how do you like the program?
I really enjoyed it. It filled all of my expectations up and above.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have many when I started, and they really, I loved it. I loved studying here.
I'm glad to hear that, Tilma. And what made you choose this program from the start?
I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted, and international management is a bit of everything. I'd say you get the economics, you get the international perspectives, you get the marketing, and you get to try what you like, and you get to learn about leadership too, which I enjoyed that part particularly.
Yeah, all right. So back to you, Edvard. I can see that we have questions already in the chat, so I guess that we just move on with those ones so they can have their answers. And we start with this one. What are the possibilities or the job opportunities after graduating international management program?
Very good. So I mean, JIBS obviously is a bachelor's program, right? So JIBS has I think it's about 95% employment or continued education percentage. So basically, what that basically means is either you continue into work or you continue on to read a master's. Working, so I asked our exchange external relations office to pull up some of our alumni just to give some context of what they've been doing when they finished their degree. We've got people who have gone off to work in H&M Group and also in Google and in jobs like let's see, global trade and public affairs. And I would say the potential to work, what kind of jobs would be available to you when you finish the degree? Everything within organizing sales, customer relations, these sort of activities, both domestically, but also internationally.
Good. And we take another one from the chat. Is that okay, Edward? We move on. And in Swedish, hur är studietakten och pluggbelastningen på international management? How much do you study here at the International Management Program?
So, I mean, all the bachelor's programs, but if I speak specifically to international management, would be roughly about 40 hours a week, right? Give or take.
Yeah.
Which, boiling it down, would be probably about 3 days. The realities of it are obviously the programs are intensive, like the education is quite intense.
Yeah.
Having said that, I'd say on average, the classes I have in each program year, I'd say probably about 60% have side occupations and jobs on the side.
Yep. All right. So we also have a question about combine. Is it possible to combine international management with some ET courses? You talked a lot about you talked about Google here before, or example like that. Is it possible to combine?
Yeah. So within international management, like one of the main sort of global themes and trends that we're quite focusing on it right now, actually. So it's coming into the classroom a lot more, JIBS,
yep.
Is the idea of digital transformation. So how organizations basically use digital tools to transform the actual organization itself. And we have courses such as digital business. We look at digitalization's effect on internationalization, all these sort of things. So there is a significant focus on that in this program.
Mm. So, Tilma, you soon are ready for being ready for the life after graduation and here at Jönköping University. What is your take? What do you bring most with you from the experience here at Jönköping as a city, as a student? Or we talked a lot about this with the other programs. Maybe you heard that, and we know that we get a lot of questions about that. How is it to be a student here in Jönköping and at the program and so on? What do you bring with you? How do you talk about Jönköping after you are done with your study?
Wow. Okay, where to start? Well, being a student at Jönköping University is a lot about the international spirit you have here. I think I wrote on my CV that I've been collaborating with about 40 different nationalities. So I don't really agree with 30. I counted and it was more than that. But I will take with me that international spirit, but also because I realized going to a master's from my bachelor's,
yep.
I realized that you learn a lot more than you know you do.
Yep.
Now when I get to use what I learned from my bachelor's, that I realized how good I am.
All right.
Is that to say? But that's thanks to Jönköping, I'd say.
If we take a question from the chat here, and you can answer that, Tilma, because the question is, what could a first job look like after studying international management? And we heard Edward talk a little bit about what kind of jobs, but what are you looking forward to? What kind of job?
Well, I'm about to do an internship this summer.
Yeah.
And it's about country management. I'm going to become a country management intern for a startup in Germany.
All right.
And they're doing expanding to Sweden. And an internship like that really lays a foundation for what I want to work with when I'm done with my studies. And I think that my bachelor in international management really made that happen.
All right. Wow. What a great opportunity. And if we move on to you, Edward, again, we have a question here in the chat. How many people are accepted in international management program each year?
It doesn't vary too much. It's about 120 per year.
Yeah.
And I'd say roughly about 45% of that's foreign or international.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for that. And we talked a lot about the international part of it, and also to be ready for a career international, so to say. And do you offer exchange studies and so on, and how does it work?
Yeah, so for the international management program, I mean, we have a lovely group in the international office who are dedicated to fixing international exchanges. That happens in year 2 of this program. We have about 150 partners, actually 151 partners all around the world. And you go away, as Johan was saying, and do a half semester, or you can go away and do a half semester with these universities. And that's entirely up to the students which country they would like to go to. Yeah. We also have this double degree, which is with partners in France, Spain and Germany, which again students can choose to do, and that means you sort of split your degree between JIBS and the partner university.
So it looks like you have a lot of great possibilities and opportunities after you have done taken this.
In these things. If you look at a lot of universities, if you were to go away and do an exchange semester in the US, for example, you'll find that it's campus-based education. Yep. So the university is really sort of small campus-based.
Yes.
And when students come back, they find that, they normally say that was such an experience because everything's so social, everything's so close, everything's so easy to do. The same as, it's almost exactly the same at JIBS or Jönköping. Yeah. Like Jönköping is a campus-based university, which means that it's all very local, it's all very, very sort of connected, if you like. And that means people collaborate a lot more. Yeah. And international management is, if anything, all about cross-cultural communication and collaboration.
Yeah. So we have heard a lot about this close thing here at campus and in Jönköping, and that makes Jönköping University really special. And also, I want to ask you one last question, Tilma. As I said to Patrick before here, if you want to send anything to the viewers that are actually watching this, thinking, maybe I should go with this or international management, and you said, I'm so glad that I've chosen international management. Is there anything that you want to send with us to the viewers that actually thinking about Jönköping University?
Well, yes, there are a lot of things to say, but one thing that I think is easy to forget is that there are no pre-chosen way for you to do what you want to do. Basically, you are asked to either do an internship, do studies abroad, but there are other things too. If you don't want that, if that's not for you, you can do a project, you can do courses on campus too. Yep. There are so many things, and you learn a lot about yourself on the way. So don't be afraid to change your mind during your bachelor, basically. Mm.
Thank you so much, and Edvard, I know that you are ready to answer some more questions if they have some, so please just send us an email and we will come back to you as soon as possible, because this open house is for you, my friends. And Edvard, you will also come back after a little bit of a break here, talking about marketing management. So just stay tuned. And to Tilma, we say good luck with your career afterwards. And thank you so much for attending this evening, talking about international management program. So thank you, Edvard and Tilma, and we will move on now because it's time for you to see the environment here at JIBS. And we will, of course, do a guided tour. We will have a little bit of a mobile running around here inside JIBS because this is an open house. So, of course, you have to see how does it look here at JIBS. So I hand over the camera and the sound and the picture to Maya and Pierre. Go ahead and show us JIBS.
Start your career. Explore the world. This is where it happens.
Vi kan ta det i slutet. Ja. Hello. Nice to see you guys here. Well, I thought I would take you out on a tour around JIBS here. My name is Maya and I'm a student here. I study the Sustainable Enterprise Development Program that you will hear about later today. And I'm in my 3rd year now. But yeah, I wanted to show you around here. We have a typical classroom that we usually, except for now, would learn to sit in. It's nice and spacious, I think. I hope you like it if you're gonna want to study here. All right, we're gonna take a walk around JIBS. I'm gonna show you all of the most nice places to see here. Gonna be very exciting. All right, come with me. Beautiful art here on the walls. Beautiful, beautiful. Also gonna see. We're also going to see some students around here because, you know, as a business student, you're always hustling. So let's walk over here. In JIBS, we have a lot of international students. It's a very nice intercultural setting. All right, let's go in here maybe. Here you can see a normal group room. Where you can sit around, do your work, study. When the exam period comes up, great space, beautiful view. All right, enough about that. Let's continue on. All right, here you can see some gypsies in their natural environment. They're all sitting. Not going to try to disturb them too much, but we have a lot of great sitting space all around JIBS. You can just sit down, talk in between lectures, or just study as well. All right, let's keep going. And in all of these rooms around here that you see, you have students working all the time. All right. Now let's go here. This is kind of interesting and it shows a lot about JIBS. Here is the poster board where you can see all of the fun activities going on at JIBS at all times and around campus as well. We have different associations around school, such as Case Academy and Next Step Career Fair, that are all for students and they're also organized by them. There's so many things that you can do besides your studies. All right, I think that sounds great. Well, let's go down. Yeah, so we can stop down here and see the beautiful view. I hope you guys at home can also see it quite well. You can see us in the reflection. Hello. Yeah, so here we have beautiful Jönköping on the other side. There you can see the health school and also campus arena where we have a gym right on campus. It's right in there. It's hard to see now. But whenever you're studying, you can always go back to the gym and just take a break. And on this other side, we can see HOK, the other school that you visited the other day, last week. All right, should we keep going downstairs? Yeah, here we can see another poster from SSA, as here in JIBS and all around JU. We think that sustainability is a very important subject as well. I study sustainability as well. We have associations such as SSA that care about sustainability and implementing it on campus. Let's keep going. And also here in JIBS, we have the space that we're usually in for students is 4 floors, so that you do run up and down the stairs a little bit, which is a good workout, I think, for me at least. But let's go another floor down. we made it to ground floor. Great, I will just let us in here. There we go. Yes, you guys first. Oh, all right, I thought that I would now show you how another different classroom will look like in JIPS, because here downstairs on the ground floor we have some big lecture halls. All right. Ooh, no, doesn't want to let me in. Just give me a second. That sounds better. All right, welcome in. Yeah. So this is where a different lecture hall can look like in JIPS. They have lots of space, very corona friendly, it's good. I do like having lectures in here. Usually for the bigger courses, we have lectures in bigger halls, but then it varies from course to course. But I think this one is kind of nice. If lecture halls can be nice. All right. Great. All right, we can stop right here actually. I have another interesting fact for you guys. This is Beirut, and behind it we actually have something called U, which is a very fun place here at JIPS because it's a student pub, and it's a pub that is run by students for students. So actually everyone that works there are also students, and you go after you've studied for the day, and then you just go and have a beer with your friends and just really have a great time. Yeah, we have that in there. Unfortunately, it's closed right now, but if not, we would have gone there. But when it opens up again, I hope to see you guys there. All right. Well, this kind of concludes this tour. I hope you liked it, and I hope that you do choose Jönköping as your school. It was lovely to see you guys, and yeah, hope to see you around campus. Bye!
start your international career. We are back here in the studio, here in the lobby at JIBS. And we're going to move on here. We're going to talk a lot about the different programs. Up next is marketing management, but we also hope that you really enjoyed a little bit guided tour here at JIBS to see what it's all about in their environment and so on. But again, we say hello and good evening to Edward. Welcome back.
Good evening again.
And we also have a student with us today, Magdalena. Welcome to you, Magdalena.
Hello.
And Edward, you were here talking about international management just before the break here, and now we're going to talk a lot about the program Marketing Management. So again, we have a lot of different programs here at JIBS. So we're starting with Marketing Management. What is your program about when it comes to marketing management?
Again, marketing management is at its core is business administration. So a core foundation in organization, accounting, statistics, obviously marketing, leadership, and then once you've, if you like, got through the first year of those foundations, then we start to specialize in marketing. And when specializing in marketing, that is everything from digital marketing, digital business, to internationalization processes, international marketing, marketing communications, content creativity, and stuff like that.
Mm. All right. So we talked before the break. We talked about international management and now marketing management. In the chat, we already have a question about that, saying, what are the difference between international management and marketing management?
So, I mean, the simple difference is the fact you'll be focusing much more on the communication side and the sort of creative content side instead of the sort of more organized. That would be for marketing management, whereas for international management, you'd be focusing much more on the business model and business side in regards to the international context or international customers or international operations. But purely for marketing management, it would be focused on communications, creative content, and quite a significant amount about international marketing too.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about what we focused on, but what do you do? What can you do after the program?
So, I mean, one of the examples that I've just recently seen is we had a student from last year who, again, actually we had quite a few people go last year who went to work at Google, but one of the students went to work at Google, and he was a creative marketing lead. So in effect, that would be this person is doing activities in regards to creating marketing campaigns and the like. So much more to do with the sort of communications of the actual business. You can also go into sales. A normal type of sort of entry job would probably be something like account management and things like that.
All right. So we also talked about those different companies that surrounding JIBS and be a part of JIBS and so on. And what kind of practical experience can you get during this program, so to say, be out in the real world, if I can say it like that?
So one of the things that makes JIBS, in the Swedish context, pretty much almost unique, I would say, but very unique at least, is for the international management and the marketing management program. We have what's called a host company promise, basically. So from year one, when you join on first semester, when you join JIBS and this program, marketing management, we hook you up with a company that basically you do your coursework with for the first year or 2 years. So that's one example, a very unique one. The second is basically that we are a practice-orientated university. So a lot of the project work you would be doing first year, second year, and third year would be with all regional organizations, Husqvarna and the like.
Yeah. And talking about that, we move on to Magdalena a little bit. For how long time have you been studying here at Jönköping University?
I've already finished my marketing management degree for my bachelor's, and I continued studying digital business here.
All right, so you know everything about this program, and then we have to ask you, marketing management program. How did you like the program, or how do you like the program? Sorry.
Yeah, I really like the program because it does give you a really general, good, strong understanding of business administration in general.
Yeah.
But it also focuses a bit on that marketing aspect, basically whichever career path you choose, which, as mentioned by Edward, there's a lot that you can go to after this degree.
Yep.
Marketing is always something useful to have. And even if you don't directly go to marketing, it's such a useful thing in any other career path as well.
Yeah.
So I loved it, yeah.
For a couple of years ago, Magdalena, you sat there, you had to choose what kind of program you should attend to and what kind of city you should live in and so on. What made you choose this program from the start?
Yeah, from the start, I focused generally that I wanted to study in an international university.
Yep.
So that is why Jönköping was my main choice, because it was advertising itself as a really international university, and it actually is.
Yeah.
So that was my first thing. And the second thing is I loved marketing, and I wanted to learn more about it. And even, for instance, now that I perhaps will choose more consultant path, not something of a creative marketing side, it's still the most useful degree I could have ever chosen. So no regrets there.
All right, no regrets there. I'm glad to hear that. And back to you, Edvard. We have a question here in the chat. What are the benefits of getting a double degree?
So the quick answer to that is basically international exposure. One of the things that was brought up at the beginning of this open house is that we are double accredited at JIBS, right?
Yep.
Now, what that effectively means, apart from obviously the quality side of things, which is important, is it means that we are also, obviously we want to keep people at JIBS to continue into a master's program after they've studied the bachelor's, but the double accreditation opens up a very big world of master's programs at other universities, because oftentimes they won't, they're reluctant to accept you, and not to accept you if you haven't come from a university with these accreditations. So that's one thing, right? But when you do the double degree, that also opens you up to different methods that the universities specialize in. So, for example, one of our partners, Cage in France, are very focused on SME business. If you talk about EBS, which is in Germany, just outside Frankfurt, they are very, very specialized in finance, for example, seeing just outside of Frankfurt. So you get the sort of, if you like, the benefits of having the accreditations we have, the benefits of the international environment we have at JIBS, but also at the same time, when you go to our partners, you get their specializations too.
All right, so Magdalena and the other ones here, Edvard, that have gone through marketing management program, how is the job opportunities regarding this kind of program? Do they have, Edvard, this question is for you to start with. What is your take on the job opportunities after you have done your study here at marketing management?
Very good. Again, we have it's over 90% employment percentage after they've studied.
Yep.
So very good. What I would sort of say makes students stand out is partly the sort of content you learn, the skills and the practical side of the education we offer, and it's very practice orientated, but also the fact that we are one of the few universities in Sweden that offers bachelor's programs where you do have English, and it's not just about the English, it's about the confidence you have when you learn the English.
Yeah, and talking about, if we stay with the English part of it a little bit, Edvard, and I know that we have a lot of questions about just regarding English and the studying and so on. And what is your, for our Swedish viewers, how hard is it to study in English? Is it the barrier of entry? We have heard that question with the other programs, but when it comes to the marketing management program, what is your take on that one?
So I can speak generally for JIBS first. So there is no barrier to entry, really. It's a soft landing, basically.
Yep.
because if you like, the end goal is basically, yes, you want people to have proficiency in English, but you actually, employers, what they want really is the confidence to actually engage in English, right? And that's what we offer over the 3 years. Yeah. When it comes to sort of the marketing management program specifically, obviously there is quite a specific language you would talk within the marketing sort of function job you would do. Yep. So you're also sort of specialised because our faculty are familiar with that kind of not just the language but also the concepts and frameworks. So I wouldn't say there's any barriers. It's actually a very soft landing to gain a very strong competence.
All right, thank you. And Magdalena, when it comes to you, then, after you are done with this program, what are you looking forward to do as a job, main job, or what is the career plan and so on for Magdalena?
Yeah, I'm looking at consultant kind of job right now. Yeah. I'm thinking that way, something to do with technology as well, and definitely in an international environment. Yep. That I have set in stone in my career. But you know, wherever life takes me, I'll go. But right now, that's the goal.
Yeah. Have you been abroad, or will you go abroad in the future?
I have been with marketing management. I've been to Spain. I actually did an exchange semester in Barcelona. It was Toulouse Business School, and it was an amazing opportunity to see how a different educational system works, and actually completely different. And also, you know...
In a good way?
Yes. Of course, you know, there's pluses and minuses in both ways. Yeah. But yeah, it was amazing. Yep. And also when I furthered in masters, I did an exchange in Lithuania. So I did 2 exchanges or international experiences throughout my studies.
Okay, so again, that's a great opportunity here at JIBS to actually go abroad, and you have been both to Spain and in Lithuania, as you said. And what does it do with you as a student? Open up your eyes for the world, of course, and the global part of it and so on. But anything else that you want to bring to the table with that one? That you actually
it builds such confidence in the knowledge you've accumulated, and basically in the future. It really kind of pushes you outside your comfort zone, and shows you the value that you're getting in Jönköping as an international university with the English language as the main one. And because it is a very rare opportunity, actually, to have a completely English education and such an international environment. So yeah, it just makes you appreciate what you have, and also, you know, get out of your comfort zone.
Ah, good. So get out of your comfort zone. And Magdalena, I guess that you moved to Jönköping. You're not from Jönköping from the start, huh?
No.
No. So you have to give me then, on a scale from 1 to 10. 10 is world class, and 1 is I have to move away from here as fast as I can. Jönköping. What do you...
No, that exactly. Now that I've moved to another city, to Västerås actually, in Sweden, yeah. I have just realized how beautiful of a city Jönköping is. It is absolutely incredible, and the student life there, the vibe is amazing, and yeah, I didn't appreciate it as much as when I was studying there, but now I realize, wow, it's a beautiful city.
Oh, thank you so much for that. And we heard a lot about the student vibe here in Jönköping. And talking about students, we go back to Edvard, and we have a question here in the chat. Is the international students fit with the local ones, especially the ones coming from outside of the European Union?
Yes. So, I mean, the simple answer to that is yes. We have, from the academic side, all the work is done in group work. Most of the work is done via group work, and that is, we actually have a course that marketing management students would read in year 1, semester 1, called cross-cultural communication, where we get sort of domestic students from Sweden, European students from outside the EU, and they're all working together in different groups. Outside of that, the student unions or the different student activity bodies are very, very integrative in the activities they do. I would also just quickly add, like I actually I did my PhD in Västerås before I joined Jönköping, and I can very much say that Jönköping is a much more lively city.
So listen to Edvard about Jönköping, and we take another question from the chat to you, Edvard. What's the difference between getting a philosophy bachelor degree at marketing management and to get a bachelor degree at international management? Is international management a bit wider?
So yes, it is. Like the international management program gives you the tools and understanding for basically operating or working within the operations of an international business. So that might be everything from account management with foreign customers, domestic customers. That might be something to do with working within executive communications between different campaigns in different countries. Whereas in marketing management, it still obviously has, like, this is the thing. It's entirely at the student's own opportunity, if you like, to actually explore if they want to work domestically or internationally. But the marketing management is more specific to the tools that you would need to work within marketing functions, sales functions, and then executive communications. So basically, the campaigning that these kind of organizations would do.
Yeah, we talked a lot about early on here tonight, and also on the other schools here at Jönköping University about modern education and relevant education and so on. And in marketing, everything is like changing from day to day. Sometimes, at least you can feel it like that. What is your take on the modern part of it, so to say?
So, I mean, well, when it comes to the marketing management program, JIBS takes a what you would classify, what we call a flipped approach, which is well, obviously it's important to learn the foundations, right? And we're very practice orientated in that respect. So the promise is to deliver on core training and skills within things such as Excel and other tools that employers want you to have, right? Creative, how do you basically design creative content, for example? That's a very practical skill for marketing. But beyond that, when it comes to sort of the theories that we use, our faculty are all at the forefront of this. I would say that JIBS, broadly speaking, is very, very sort of recognized internationally for entrepreneurship research, our marketing research, and then for our media research or media content research. And so the faculty, when they're in the classroom, it's not just about the practical tools you learn, it's also about the forefront or the sort of most up-to-date theories within these fields as well.
Thank you so much for that. And is there anything else you want to add on regarding marketing management program?
So I would say one of the things that we're developing right now, which is, that will be live from the next intake, so for the people we're talking to today. Basically, we are having quite a large drive towards digital content and digitalization of marketing. So that's something that I think is going to set this program aside, or it will set it out apart from the other sort of programs, and definitely when we benchmark this against other programs in Sweden. So if you're interested in digital content and digital transformation of marketing activities, then this program is a no-brainer.
Yeah, okay. So it's a no-brainer then. And a last question for you, Edvard. How many people can we take to this program here at JIBS?
So we take about 120, 25. Obviously, we have an increased capacity for this year, so maybe 130. Of that, both exchange and also foreign students that come into the program, it's again about 45%.
Okay. It seems like a really, really exciting program, marketing management. Thank you for that, Edvard and Magdalena. Good luck in Västerås, and welcome back to Jönköping, as Edvard talked about. That is the great city, but still, we wish you luck in Västerås. And thank you so much that you were attending this evening talk about marketing management program. We see you next time. And if you have any questions, again, maybe to Magdalena or Edvard or any others here at JIBS, please don't hesitate to write an email to us or place it down below in the chat. Thank you so much, because now we will move on to the last program here for this evening here at JIBS. And again, we will talk with Edvard. And Edvard, this time we will change the hat to another program, because now we're going to talk about Sustainable Enterprise Development Program. That's a hard word to say fast. And we also have 2 students with us. It's Otis. Hi, Otis, and welcome.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
We're glad to have you with us, Otis. And we also have Jessica with us. Hi, and good evening, Jessica.
Good evening.
So, now we're going to talk about Sustainable Enterprise Development. And again, we need to be clear on those different programs we have here. So, Edvard, I start with you, as I have done before. What is your program about?
So the Sustainable Enterprise Development Program, again, is founded in business administration. So the foundation, the basics are, if you like, delivered and given in business administration. So again, marketing, organization, leadership, accounting, statistics, and these things. What's really unique about this, and this is a, if you like, first in store, or a unique program that's first in Sweden, one of the first, is that it moves beyond the business administration teaching. So if you talk about, when you mentioned earlier that there's very much emphasis at JIBS about looking to the forefront of theory, academia, practice.
Yep.
All businesses, all organizations are looking at responsibility models, they're looking at sustainability, they're looking to move in more towards things such as circular economy type issues. So what we do in this program is we look at business administration, and then we look at what happens beyond that. Well, how do you build in, if you're an organization, how do you look at your business model, and how do you actually develop that business model into being more sort of orientated towards circular economy type issues. So it's very, very much focused on sustainability issues.
All right. So after you are done with this program, you can work with what?
So that again is very much up to the student, of course. Yeah. I would say that the majority of students we've had, it's a new program, it's only had 2 years that are finished.
Yeah.
But a lot of them move on to work. I've got one example of a student I was talking to yesterday that is now working for Deloitte as a sustainability analyst.
Okay.
I have another student from the first cohort 2 years ago that is working for Synapse now as the CSR manager. So she's developing CSR programs for the firm, and these type of things. So you could quite easily go and work in, you can go and work in marketing, you can go and work as a consultant, but a lot of our students generally go into positions that are orientated towards responsibility and sustainability type functions. So
responsibilities and sustainabilities, and let's move on to Otis. Otis, welcome to this evening, and we're going to talk about this program, and we have to start with the typical sport question. How do you like the program, and how does it feel?
Yes, so I like this program a lot because it's so unique that you can't find it anywhere else, I would say.
Yeah.
And also, I think it gives up the opportunity to combine business administration and sustainable development. And what I like the most about the program is how we focused on innovation management and change management, because these are the most important tools or most important things that I think are needed the most in terms of organizations' sustainability transition. And also, I like this program is that this program gives us a very good international environment. I am an international student myself, and we have other classmates from all around the world. And yeah, it helped to build my friendship, international friendship, and also international connections. So yeah, I like this program a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Jessica, if we move on to you, we heard Edvard talking about sustainability and responsibility, and we know for a fact that these are like really themes that are the spotlight. It's really on those kind of subjects right now in the business world. And what made you choose this program from the start?
It's exactly what you're saying, that it's very current. Very many companies ask for this kind of competence, and like Otis said, the combination of business administration with this sustainability, I was very much attracted to the sustainability profile of the program, and so far I have been very right about that.
Yeah. So Edvard, if we come back to you, and when you said that we had this program for a couple of years. You said that we had two finish. Was that right? 2 classes. Yeah. And I guess when you are that kind of so to say new program, and it's really important to listen to what the market or the businesses out there need, and how do you do that when you actually create a new program like this, and are the companies into the program and tell us a little bit what they need and what they can see, and how does it work? It's a big question, but
yeah. So firstly, I can't take credit for creating this program. Like, the person who was doing the program directorship before me created it, and did a fantastic job. But firstly, we have a corporate advisory board. So we get input from businesses and public organizations about, every time we make a change in the program, when we develop the program, what it is that they see as the trends moving in, what the sort of trends are moving in their organizations. So to give you some concrete examples of that, like we have one course, Sustainable Governance in Year 3, where we've just we've just contracted or hired, I should say, this company in Gothenburg called Miljö Brunn, who are basically going, so the course is being delivered. It's about governance of organizations and sustainable governance. And it's basically like a mini internship where the students will work with this company, Miljö Brunn, who will actually allocate them to different companies who then they work with the problems about sustainability, and then we obviously teach them the theory. That's one way. Another way is basically when we develop the program, obviously we engage businesses and public organizations. One of the big themes right now is obviously this idea of change management and organizational transition towards more agile modes in organizations. And one of the things that we build into this program is looking at, okay, if you have continuous change management and transition, how do you build sustainability factors into that, and look more towards the sort of circular economy issues that you would have there. And all our faculty who teach this program, actually, all of them are foreign. They are international faculties specializing in this area.
All right, thank you for that answer. And Edvard, we move on with some questions from the audience. What do the test looks like? Are they mostly written exams, or is it also in other ways?
Yeah, so this is a little bit why if we had a panel, me and Tina could argue a little bit on this. But so one of the things, firstly, I should say that not 90%, but a significant amount of the education takes place in group work, group projects, very applied problem-solving type group work.
Yep.
Then obviously there's exam, traditional written exams and stuff like that. So quite normal in that. And then obviously right now, as we're doing an awful lot of digital teaching, we're using digital modes of quizzes and stuff like that. So it's a mixture, but at the bottom of sort of the baseline of all this is a significant amount of group work, and that group work is applied, so it's normally done with organizations.
All right. So thanks for that. And Jessica, we will move on to you. And did you do an internship, or if so, how did you like it? Did you do an internship?
Yes, I did. During this program, you get the opportunities to create one or build one of the semesters yourself. Either you choose courses, you do an internship and courses, or you go abroad. And I was very interested. All from the beginning, I knew I wanted to do an internship. At an internship, I did this with a hotel, Vox Hotel here in Jönköping. They are part of Nordic Choice Hotels.
Yes.
So I really got my foot into a big company already. This is something that I had my eye on from the beginning, not the company per se. The company I got in contact with through a previous course that I took in this program, because we do a lot of, like Edward said, a lot of group work in the courses. And some of these group works, we get connected with actual companies and help them with their sustainability work. And this is how I found my internship. I worked with their sustainability profile, and I have strengthened that a lot.
Yeah.
What they gave me is that I learned a lot about business administration within the hotel sector. So it was a two-way win there.
Thanks for that. And Otis, did you also do an internship or?
Yes, so I didn't do my internship, but I went on exchange instead.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, absolutely. So I went to Netherlands, a town called Groningen. I did my exchange in University of Groningen. And yeah, I went on exchange through this program as well. And it is a very fantastic experience where I made a lot more friends, and I get to learn more about different cultures and living in different countries. And also during my study in Groningen University, I continued my passion about sustainability that started in Jönköping University at JIBS here. So basically I can choose various courses that are related to this program. And it is definitely a very good experience. I mean, internship is as good, but I really do value my experience in Netherlands.
Yeah. Thanks for that, both Jessica and Otis. And we go back to Edward. And Edward, we have a question here in the chat. And what are the possibilities within the sustainable enterprise? Do I work in the UN after graduation?
Yes, you can if you want. The business administration part of the program gives you the ability to work within public and private organizations. So if you wish to work for the UN, for example, or any other sort of international public bodies or these international organizations, then it's, again, largely depends on the student's preference and choice of what career and job they might want to have. But absolutely, you could work within sustainability type issues within the UN. You'd have to apply for the job though, right? But I mean, you would have the competencies to work within it.
Yeah. We keep going here in the chat. And how does scholarship work?
Is that okay? So I'm going to assume that scholarship in regards to when they go abroad. So JIBS, students can apply for funding. Like obviously you have Erasmus funding if you're in Europe, which you can apply to. If you do go abroad, then obviously there are certain. If you go to the US, for example, some schools offer scholarships.
Yes.
That's very specific to schools, though. So there are an awful lot of, let's say, fundings out there that students can apply to. And we do actually have we have an international office that helps with the actual process of going abroad, but we also have an exchange office in JIBS that is dedicated to looking and helping students hook up with internships, looking at the different funding options if you want to go abroad and these things.
All right, thank you. And we said to you guys out there that we want your questions in the chat, and thank you so much for typing the questions. I'm not sure if we have the time to go through all of them, but we have another question here, Edward, and we take this short. It's a pretty straight on question. Is it stressful when learning?
So I think one of the things that came up in the last program, marketing management, when you do an exchange semester or when you're actually doing a program itself, you're challenged, right? You're challenged with different cultures when you're studying. You're challenged with a different language, for example, challenged with all the theories and different tools you're going to learn. And I wouldn't say it's stressful. What I would say is that you're challenged to actually learn, and that builds not only the tools and competencies you need to be employed after, but also at the same time it builds resilience. And resilience is probably, I would say, one of the softer skills that we really focus on at JIBS, that is in high demand with employers. So I would say it's as stressful as students make it, but at the same time, I think it's incredibly fun.
Yeah. exactly. So another question here in the chat. What are the living accommodation like for a student coming to JIBS from another country?
Yeah, so I actually can answer this properly because I actually worked with interviewing international students when I started at JIBS. We actually, if we make an offer to international students coming from outside of Europe, we actually guarantee, when we make the offer, we actually guarantee accommodation for them. But it is only for them and not their family. Like, yeah, but we have that, and then obviously for first year students, domestic and European, there is accommodation offerings as well. All right.
So Otis, when you're done here at this program, what are you looking forward the most after? What do you want to do?
Yes, absolutely. I wanted to work something related to sustainability. As I said, I'm very passionate about this topic, and also I would like, and also I believe that business is a huge part in terms of the contribution to sustainability. So I would love to work as a sustainability specialist or CSR specialist in international companies, combining my experiences here and what I learned in school. And also I remember there's some question about scholarship. And yes, as an international student, I think he probably meant another scholarship that is offered by JU. I am a scholarship holder of Jönköping University, so I can talk a little bit more about it. So basically, it's a scholarship that you can apply when you come from outside of Europe, and it is a scholarship that's offered by Swedish government, and then Jönköping University will offer it to the students. So a little bit, some tips about this scholarship application to this student that are asking this question. You have to show your passion of what you want to do in JIBS, and you have to show that you learn about what is going to be taught in this program, and then you have to show that you're really passionate about what you're going for in JIBS, and also just check your documents once again after sending in, and just don't miss anything, don't miss any deadlines, and good luck to this person.
Good. So you surely have the passion about that. Thank you so much, Otis, for attending this evening. And Jessica, if we move on with you, what will you do after you are done studying here at JIBS?
Well, I'm still figuring that out, but like I mentioned a little bit about earlier, I have been in touch with the hotel industry a lot. I am currently finishing 1 year extracurricular work as a sustainability consultant for this Nordic Choice Hotels group. So I think I have some threads to pull there. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to end up, but just like Otis, I want it to be sustainability themed. And I'm very much into some sort of consultancy or giving advice, because I believe that I could do that well after this education.
Okay, thank you so much to you, Jessica, for you attending this evening. And to wrap it up, Edward, you and me a little bit here. It seems like everybody talking about CSR and sustainability, and you can't deny it in the business industry and so on. And what do you want to send to the viewers right now? Looking at this, maybe they started thinking a little bit about, that sounds like a job for the future, seems like an important job, maybe I can follow my heart because I want to make a better world and so on. What do you want to send to the students that are actually looking at this right now and try to find their way in their life?
So I would say that responsibility and sustainability are themes and activities that are making their way into all functions of organizations. So this is a program that most certainly trains you up for the tools to be competitive within that environment. The other thing I would add that we haven't really talked about is that we talked an awful lot about organizations and business, but that is so heavily informed by policy and
yes.
public organizations. And this program is quite broad in regards to what the prerequisites to entry. So we take people from political science and stuff like that. And apart from working in organizations and businesses with sustainability themes and circular economy themes, there is a huge demand right now for people working within policy and these sort of areas. And this program is very much also designed for people who would like to work in that sort of domain.
Yeah. So it seems like a really exciting program. And thank you so much, Edward, for attending this evening to talk about sustainable enterprise development. Sorry for that. And also marketing management and international management. And if you have any questions about any of those programs that we have talked about, if you don't remember, I will take them now. We're starting with the Civilekonomprogrammet. Yes, that's the Swedish name for it. And after that, international economics, and that was with Tina. Civilekonomprogrammet was with Johan, and international management, marketing management, and sustainable enterprise development here with Edvard. If you have any questions, because this is an open house digital, please send the email to us here, and in Swedish it's studera @ju.se or study@ju.se, and we will come back to you as soon as we can, because we are really looking forward to see you here at Jönköping International Business School later this year. Thank you so much, Otis, Jessica, and Edvard, for this evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So, my friends, it's time to wrap it up. The open house here at JIBS are done. It's all over. And hopefully you have more knowledge now about the different program here at JIBS. You have seen the environment here at JIBS together with Maja and Pierre. And maybe you think a little bit, you think like this, oh, I want to know more. I want to know about the dates to apply and so on. So don't hesitate. Just go to the website right now, and you can read everything about JIBS and the other schools here at campus in Jönköping University. So this was all from the open house here at JIBS. And you know, as I said from the start your international career. Start it right here at Jönköping University. Thank you so much for attending this evening. This is JIBS. This is your future coming up. We see you here in Jönköping. Goodbye.
Start your career. Explore the world. This is where it happens.